Hey there, welcome back to my workshop. I'm Andrew Malacy, and this is the finished shaker nightstand. It's taken forever. Oh my gosh, it has taken forever. And I've already said it in another video, if I were to make another one of these, which at this point, I think I'm going to, because everybody's loving this, I would definitely not make it out of 2x4s. Too many challenges, too many things to worry about. The wood quality is just too low. And if I were to make it out of pine, I would just go ahead and get 1x4 material. There's no reason to have to do a 2x4 challenge again. But this is out of two 2x4s with very little left over. But before I give you a tour of it up close, because you've already seen the glamour shots and whatnot, before I show you all the scrap left over, I'm gonna let you see me painting it, and then we'll do the big reveal with the tour and whatnot. So stick around, see you in a second. Told you that wasn't too bad. Like I'm gonna make you watch paint dry, seriously. But so here it is. I'm extremely excited about this. I can't even tell you. It's been a long process, and again, because I was working with 2x4s on a self-imposed 2x4 challenge, whatever. I'm a glutton for punishment. Definitely in the future, I'll just either use 1x or I'll just mill up my own material, but that I don't have to resaw, material that's higher quality from the get-go, that I'm not trying to cut out knots and things like that. I won't have to just economize the whole time. I can kind of just waste a little bit, and I can just use fine material, not worrying about the grain tearing out in every which direction, which is a problem everywhere. It's got defects. I sanded as much as I could out. I really just like to plane it if possible and not sand it, but and I'm not trying to be an elitist here, but yeah. There are some defects. I'm not going to point them out to you. To be honest, you can see if you can notice them yourself. But if from this distance you can't notice it, I just think you're not going to notice it. And it's just going to look better with time as it gets dinged up and whatnot. But here we go. Close-up look at it. Turned out really nice, right? The little gap appeared at the top because we're now in the late fall. And so it's shrunk. And I think it'll leave a good little gap in the summer. If it ever squeezes up, I'll trim it down for my sister. Here we go. There's the back, and here's the other side. I mean, it's the box with the top. But I absolutely love the bevel around. It turned out so nice. I'd never done, this is the third one of these I've made. I've never made one with a 1/4-inch bevel or a 1/4-inch lip. Well, it's been 1/2 inch. Love this. I will definitely stick to this from now on. The other thing is I've done the sides on previous iterations, like you've seen. Won't do that again. This just looks like the classic style. You can't beat this. The shakers knew what they were doing. And so there you go. Here's the drawer. I'm so excited about this drawer. It just looks nice. It's clean. It's shaker again. These are some of my best dovetails I've ever done. Here's the less good side, but I'm still satisfied with it. You can see there are some gaps, and I think they've opened up because of movement and a little bit of I know I bruised the edges, and it's not really that far apart. They were really snug fits. Before I glued this drawer was solid. Here's the back. I use machine screws from drawer pulls to make the depth adjusters. And you can see my dovetails aren't perfect, but they're not bad either. I'm very proud of those. And then here we go. This is the side, particularly the front, that I'm just stoked about. Look at that. There's a big crack there, but I couldn't cut everything out. I had to do what I could do. And then the back cracked off that, whatever. But I had to, because I miscalculated on my top rail, I did have to plane that flush, so it isn't exactly a perfect lip anymore, but whatever. C'est la vie. You can't even tell. And that's really the only defect I'm going to point out to you, because I'm sure you noticed it. But there you go. I used a little screw with the washer on the bottom there to hold it all in. But by the time I was making this drawer, things were getting tense. I just did not think I was going to have enough material. That is one of the things I would say. If you're going to do a 2x4 challenge, that's the biggest thing, is if you've not planned really, really well, you could end up shooting yourself in the foot. So I was skimping on some other pieces, saving them where I could, and then I left a big chunk of like 18 inches, maybe a little more, of uncut 2x4, and then I finally, at the very end, I made the decision to resaw it and mill it up, make the drawer bottom, make some drawer sides, and then take little strips from it to make the drawer runners. All in all, I was very, very efficient. This is all that's left. This, maybe a couple chunks that I accidentally threw in the trash or swept up on the floor without knowing it. Some of those little guys down there. This, I want to show you. This is the top, is a piece from the top. I already broke off this piece right here, just testing it on my own. And I want to show you that I didn't clamp the top. I didn't clamp any of the panels. I just set them and let them sit under their own weight. And if you can see the glue joint right there, I'm going to do a break test live and see where it breaks. Well, it broke obviously on the ring of the pith there. Let's do another one, be a little more fair. Again, broke on the ring rather than the glue joint. I think you're going to get the idea. I just think that this 2x4s are so weak that the grain is so wide, and it's just going to break on the grain before it breaks on the glue joint. I think we all know that. So I'm not worried about how little pressure I put on it. I put a nice coat, rubbed them a little bit so they tacked up, and they're fine. In fact, you can't even tell there's lines on there, like glue joints. So the other thing, I'd like to give you a quick tour of the inside. You've already seen the drawer, and I didn't finish it. I just put a wax finish, as you saw in the video, and it gives this nice smooth feel. I buffed it out real quick with just a t-shirt, a sleeve or something, and then call it a day. I just wanted to leave that nice, and then also with nice and natural. But I also knew that if I put more paint on the side, it would kill the tolerances here. All right, so the inside, I'd never really shown you a good view of what's going on, but there's the top held down, like I said, with the drawer knob machine screws. And then here's my drawer runners, which I did a little creative with, but I'd already sort of planned for this. There it is. Just two small little pieces, strips that are about 1/4 inch to maybe a little bit thicker, and I just glued them together and glued them on the side. Works perfectly. No problems at all. Considering how light this thing is, I don't really think there's any danger that, although it's only 1 inch glued on either side, I don't think there's any danger that they're going to break. And if they do, I'll fix it. It's just not a big deal. At this point, this is not fine furniture, although it is a fine piece of furniture. I'm not worried about it. And honestly, if my sister destroys it or something, she's an adult, so I would hope not. But if their cat scratches it or if their dog scratches, I don't even know. It's just furniture, so it's okay. And it's a 2x4, 2 of them. So, well, there you have it. Oh man, it's been months, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy when you have to work with 2x4s, and I feel like I'm blaming the thing a lot, but I'm just telling you, if you have to learn your lesson, learn it from me. 2x4s are not worth it to actually put a lot of time into unless you can find like a really nice one. And no matter what I did, I couldn't find one that was virtually free of knots, and it checked and it cracked all along the way. So just start with the right stuff unless you're going to do a 2x4 challenge. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a long series. And honestly, it's been a long series for me. I've gotten sick twice along the way. Our 1 month old when I started is now 4.5, almost 5 months old. And I've taught a whole semester now at school. I just can't believe it. It's just been tough getting down into the workshop. But when I slapped this paint on it last night and when I buffed out the finish and whatnot, it was, man, I was so pleased with it. So I took some glamour shots. I'm gonna leave those here for you to see in a second. Thank you so much for sticking through all these videos with it. I know I don't think I'm gonna do this long of a series, especially not for this small of a thing in the future, but I will put a summary video, which will have all of them condensed down in like 10 minutes. And you can just see some of the general process. But the idea of these videos was that since I have some 3D plans made up for it in SketchUp, I wanted to give whoever might buy them on my Etsy website a lot of information to see what I did along the way. And who knows, maybe you enjoyed it along the way. I sure did. And I definitely will be making more of these. So plan on seeing another video or two in the future. But thanks again for being with me. It's been great having you around. I'm so glad I'm going to be able to give this to my sister and just see the joy on her face when she gets it. Again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.